morning, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk you through what I got up to in May and what I'm going to be focusing on in June. If you were around last month, you'll know that I started very strong. I think I put out like 12 videos. There should have been 3 or 4 more, but unfortunately I got ill when I was in the UK. But I thought we would do a recap and then I'll tell you what my plan is for June. I did already start yesterday because yesterday was the 1st of June. I started quite late to midnight because I realized that it was June quite late. As you can hear, I'm not back to myself, but it's okay. So let me talk you through, I'm trying to think in the order. Let's recap May because then I can get rid of stuff. So this is the only page in the sketchbook. This was week 2 of my drawing challenge for May, which was using oil pastels and drawing that family of carrots. My plan was to do a recap video of that series, but I didn't get the 4th one done. So that isn't here yet, but that was the final spread. But I wanted to share that one with you. And then this is another one that I did in May using a pre-prepped page. This was week 1 of the challenge that we did. Yeah, the 6th. So it was a pre-prep page that I'd done for Sandy Hester's Birds online course. And I ended up just using it to do this on top. I actually quite like it going back to it. I've not looked at it since really. I did some NC1 crayons, a giraffe. I think that's it in the sketchbook. I'm going to keep this one to hand over because we're going to be using this one next month. In this sketchbook, there's quite a bit. Let me see if there was anything in here. I'm going to have to do so much editing. May, yeah, a couple of people illustrations that were terrible. So that's it for this one. Okay, this is the 4th of May, playing with some Holbein pencils. I'm trying to create something with like a slightly warped perspective. I did this is my bedside table sketchbook. So I did this in bed. This was based upon an image. I quickly put the watercolor down but didn't finish it. This was a made up landscape, which has an impact on this month's challenge. And again, so I'll set that one side because we'll want that in a minute. And then the majority of the work was actually done in my big Royal Talons sketchbook. This was, I think this might have been either the end of April, beginning of May, but this video is on my channel. And that is what started the May challenge. Actually, May's challenge, as I already said, was to focus on a photo and do it over 3 different time sessions. So this was the car in Load, Cambridgeshire session, and there were 4 videos for this. We did some composition and the first 5-minute one, and then because we were struggling with the car, I did a page of car drawings, and then we did 15 minutes, and then we did 30 minutes. I really enjoyed, I think I enjoyed this one most of all, but looking back at it like 3 weeks later, 3 weeks later, I can see so much wrong with them, each of them, but I can also see what I learned from it. This was a Botanica Collective visual image reference for week 97 that I did. This was playing around with the carrots using my gouache palette. This was David, we were out and I was trying to draw trees. Yeah, I quite liked that. I liked this one more. This was sitting outside in the garden mid-month. Then I was playing with some texture play as per a video in Emma Carlisle's Patreon. Then it was her birthday month, or 5-year celebration actually. So there were a lot of events online. I attended every single video session, online session. I really love this character here. And I'm trying to write down notes after each one so that I'm not just looking at the negative, but also what are the positives that I can take away from each of the sessions. I really enjoyed these, even though they're not my thing. Elephant, I love my elephant so much. I still need to finish this second tiny bit here, put the baby one in. I haven't done that yet. I did say to Emma I would do it on that evening, but I didn't. I love this one, but this also plays into this month's challenge for June. We're in June already. Do some dogs. You might have seen these on Instagram if you're on Instagram, because I had shared some of them. I love this one. I need to finish this one. I think it's so sweet. And the eyes. And then the cats. This one really makes me laugh. He is looking at him and him is looking at him. And this one looks like he's gone to do the toilet. He's a bit naughty. And then it was 1950s fashion. I thought I would love this because obviously my actual job is within fashion and clothing, but I hated it. Which brings back memories of when I was studying, because my final year tutor used to say I couldn't draw, that I was terrible, that I should try collage instead, and that I wouldn't get into graduate fashion week if I didn't work harder on my illustrations. Really brutal. This one I really like. I think it's quite sweet. And then one of the sessions was jelly plating. So this is the first time I ever used my jelly plate. And then this one I did after the call had ended. I played with it. I really like that. Mostly for the colours, I think, and the slight abstractness. Then we did pigeons, frogs, and chickens. More. Working so hard across the entire weekend. I love this pigeon. It was so much fun. Really hard though on the brain. And then this was the final reference that we did week 3 for May. This was the Porto, and I broke it down compositionally, and then I did this one for 5 minutes. I think this one was 10 minutes. These two I did in between while sat with my dad, because I was quite ill by the time I got back, which is when I did this one. I really struggled. I think I recorded this on the Thursday morning or the Wednesday morning before I really got down and out. This was the week before I left. I was trying to experiment with the load. You can see the car here, the buildings and the tree. I was like, let me see if I can do it as like an abstract jelly print. Didn't really work, but I tried. And then when I was home, I drew my brother Carl because he came up for my mum's birthday. She's not with us anymore. She died in 2021, but we do try and get together on the day of her death and her birthday where possible, because obviously I live here. So my older brother came, my younger brother couldn't get out of work. On my way, I drew Amsterdam because I was waiting for the Eurostar for so long. They wouldn't let me in. I got there too early. So I stood outside by the bus stops and I drew this. I drew my dad. That is not a good face for my dad. He does not look like that. But the rest is quite accurate. And then I was drawing from the tally. This is all on the day of my mum's birthday, the 23rd. So this is Would I Lie to You? David and Lee are the comedians who are like the team leaders, and Rob is the host, and then these were the supporting cast, as it were. I was playing around with the brushes at my dad's. I found my Kuretake set, which I haven't had for over a year now because it's been at my dad's all that time, buried under a pile of stuff. So I swatched it out, and I was playing around with palettes, working through some stuff. And then the one day that I thought I felt better, I went into town because my external hard drive is damaged, possibly beyond repair, we don't know yet, but it's got a lot of content on that I don't have access to now. So I'd gone into town to try and get that remedied, and I saw this building and I was like, I took my sketchbook, I'm gonna sit. I even took my stool, my little chair, and I sat and I drew. So that was fun. And then I took it downhill because I guess I shouldn't have been out for so long. Let me just sip some coffee. Because I started getting ill on the Wednesday lunchtime. By Saturday, I should have known I wasn't actually better. So it knocked me back further than I was before. This is a page, sorry, torn from one of my mum's old magazines. There's lots of her stuff that I'm still working through to get rid of. And then this was a bird from another one. So I did them with the Kuretake set one night. My dad was like, you did that tonight? That's really good. It's only been about half an hour. And I was like, oh, that's rubbish. And then the next day I went in with pencils, so it didn't look like this when he said it was really good. And I really don't like it. The bird, I messed up again, don't like it. This is the original image, so you can see it's quite wrong. But again, this will play into my challenge for June. And then I was complaining about how few colour pencils I had taken with me. And my post was like, oh, I think you don't need any more colour pencils, ding dong. And I was like, okay, well, let me show you. So I tried to draw this just with the colour pencils I had, and it was a struggle. And I put on Instagram that I had run out of greens. And Fazana was like, you know, you can use blue as a green. I'm like, yes, but my blue is really pale. And I think that might be it, apart from what I'm hiding from you. Yes. So that was May recap. For June, as I already said, I had picked out this image for us to do watercolors the final week, but obviously I was ill and I didn't get that round to doing it. But it ties into this month as well, because I will tackle this, but I am rubbish at drawing trees. It's just a fact. I've got some examples. This is from September of last year when I was like, okay, well, let's try and do it with ink. Failed. This is my upstairs sketchbook again. This one was a reference from the daily drawing challenge on Instagram. I don't know what happened. It started well, but then it went downhill. Then we have, these were from April this year, and again, I couldn't really see what I was doing and it's a disaster. And then we have the one I did last night, but let me recap. The trees in this one, this I don't know if you've seen, because I've not shared all of this sketchbook yet, it's not finished. This one I think we did on the live YouTube session, and that was from it. This one I did afterwards in colour pencil. As you can see, I don't do trees. This one, well, let's start at the beginning. The tree, 1st of April, disaster. This was an attempt to do some trees for Katie Moody session, disaster. We have some treeageness going here. This one's okay, this one's just rubbish. This one is a drawing I did in April of my view, and trees flummoxed me. This one I don't mind because it has no leaves. Leaves, plants, things like that, I just can't draw them. I tried to simplify them and I oversimplify them, or I try to go too detailed. It doesn't work for me. So this month, this was another tree that I had attempted to draw when I was home. Disaster. As you know, disaster. Like, what is this? So this month I'm going to be focusing on trees. I think that became obvious, didn't it? Last night I joined for 1 month only, I joined a Patreon. I was basically on YouTube and on Patreon searching for tree tutorials. There's a person, I think her name is Debbie. She's Australian, based in Germany. I cannot remember her name, but she has a YouTube channel and she has a Patreon. And there's a couple of sessions where she does trees early on. And I looked and I saw them in the collections, and that's why I joined for a month. This one is a dead tree. I did this like literally just before midnight. This is an odd tree. This is my idea of an odd tree because I put in the black ink and then I put leaves over the top, and obviously the leaves look like they're behind the branches. This one was somewhat successful, graphite pencil and Tombow brush pens. But then I went up to bed and I was waiting for David to get out of the bath, and so it's like 1 in the morning and I managed this one. Ignore this side of the page, and that was just using graphite, and I felt quite happy with that. I was struggling in the light, but I found a photo on internet and I did that. Now that made me happy, and I was like, yeah, okay, I can do this. I'm going to draw trees every day in June. I'm going to use this sketchbook, which is my trusty Art Creations. There's not much in it. I think I've made over half used already. So we're going to use this sketchbook. When I'm drawing upstairs in bed at night, we'll use this one because this is my bedside table sketchbook. I would like to use this is a smooth paper. So I will also use this paper in the Pith sketchbook. The pages are a bit smaller, but it's smoother and it's thicker quality. But then in order to get to grips with, you know, drawing trees on every surface, I'm also going to use this book that I hate. Really dislike the sketchbook. It has one spread is smooth, the others is textured. And I really struggle with this whenever I use it, but I'm going to do it. We're going to use these sketchbooks. We're going to draw trees for the entire, not we, you can join me if you want. I'm going to draw trees every day in June, and by the end of June I will be able to draw any tree, almost. In terms of guidance, I have this book, An Illustrated Celebration of Trees by Kelsey Oseid, I don't know how to say that, which I've been wanting to read the actual words of, but it's full of trees, stylized, illustrated trees. So I can use this to guide me with inspiration. I have the Oxford Book of Trees, which I've had for some years, which is absolutely beautiful. Again, it's illustrated, but it will help me understand. Gosh, it smells so old. So we have leaves, trees, leafage. So there's this one, The Ever-Changing Woodlands, which I picked up in the UK some time ago. Look, we have barks, lots of trees. So that's my plan, friends. I'm going to be focusing on trees, mostly trees, because trees irritate me. But if I can do a tree, I can probably do a plant, because plants are smaller trees, in theory. So these are my sketchbooks that I'll be using. These are my reference books I'll be using. In terms of art materials, I will be using everything from paint, colored paper, jelly plate, ink, anything I get my hands on that I feel inspired to use, brush pens, it will all be used. And I'm going to draw trees every single day for the whole month. At the end of each week, I'm going to report back and show you what I did, and then we'll do a big recap at the end of the month. Whew, that was a big video. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I'm excited to get back to a regular schedule of videos because doing the ones that I did has decimated my channel. I've not had such like low views, low earnings ever on this channel. It was so bad. It taught me a lot actually about how the algorithm works and creating the right kind of content. So it's really interesting, but I won't be doing that again. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Please do give the video a like if you made it this far. Comment down below to let me know if you'll be joining in any way and drawing any trees this month. Yeah, and I will report back. Well, I'm going to post this one today, which is Monday, so I'll probably report back on Friday. So every Friday until the end of the month, you'll get a recap video of what I did that week. Yeah, wish me luck. Take care. Bye.